of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to go ahead and start today with public comment on items on the agenda. This is a public hearing on the variance application. Before we get having anybody say that, we did get a letter from Ernest King. Would you read that for us, please? Everybody knows Ernest King. He lives right next door to these folks.
Okay, so Dear Mayor and City Council of Fromberg, Montana, I am writing to you about the trailer house that Tanner and Michaela are requesting approval for after they have moved in already. I am submitting this letter to you, the council, because I could not make the meeting due to previous obligations and this Friday, November 22nd. I'll still be at work at the time of this meeting. I find myself in an unexpected and challenging situation, not of my choosing, due to the arrival of the trailer house. I will share my experiences and encounters regarding the trailer, as I believe it is crucial to provide my perspective. When Tanner started having material brought in to prepare his ground, I offered to help level or move some of it around with my tractor. That offer was never taken up. When we visited, we discussed his trailer, and he told me they have been working on it to clean and fix it up. Shortly before this time, many trailer houses were destroyed in Billings. I suggested it to him since he had told me it was over 10 years old and was over the town's requirements. I said you could possibly sell it for a good amount of money to someone there who needs one. Then use that money to put up a stick-built home. I shared where he could pick fully engineered drawings for a place. I also told him that if he went that route, I could help him gather enough people to stand and close it in on a weekend if everything was on site. Tanner committed that he hoped the town would approve of his trailer house after they cleaned it up. I was later approached by email by an individual trying to help Tanner and Michaela submit all the paperwork before putting the trailer in. I said I would talk to them about it. Within a week before September 17, 2024, I visited with Michaela about this, suggesting they get the trailer inspected and take photos to have everyone in the area sign a petition to be presented to the council for approval, assuming it would also pass inspection. That's when, just about a week later, I was notified that the trailer had been moved in. Michaela then came by asking my dad to sign a petition for the trailer's move-in. My dad told her he didn't live there and would have to talk to me. She then asked me, and I explained to her that I felt betrayed since I tried to help you do it the right way. I told her that I'd like to see the improvements, but they went about it the wrong way. Michaela told my dad and me that she told Tanner, but Tanner said he was just going to move it in, and if the town had a problem, then he'd deal with it then. This is now the second time. Sincerely, Ernest King.
Okay.
Can I speak?
Yes, if you would stand, introduce yourself at the podium, please.
That's a fun person.
Michaela Smith. When I talked to Ernest, all he said was that there were people around town that wanted us to sign a petition to allow us to move it in. That's all he said. He didn't say that we should get it inspected or that anything else like that. All he said is people want us to get a petition, and I told Tanner that, and we didn't see why we needed a petition. That was it. That was the conversation. And then when I went and talked to Ernest after we were given the variance and the permit that we didn't know that we needed, when we went about it to try and fix things, I went and talked to him about it, and he said that he would love to sign for us, but it would make other people in town angry. So people were already saying, don't sign for them because it'll make them angry. And that's how it went.
Okay. Do we have any other comments? Yes, if you stand.
Jerry Hall. Here's what I got to say. I do not believe Tanner would have hooked that trailer up, let's say, at higher authority. I do believe that somebody on the council, like Tim, the mayor, told him to go ahead and put it in because there's going to be a vote. The vote's going to be 2 and 2, and the mayor makes the decision.
No, I did not.
No.
Yes.
I'm not really Ilsa. I'm not really sure exactly what this variance is for, because I've lived there for over 20 years, and if there's ever been anything on that lot, it's been a trailer. And this is actually one of the nicest ones that they've moved in now that I've seen there. So I'm not really sure exactly why there's even this variance thing going on. But as far as Mr. King is concerned, have you seen his property? I look at it every day, and there's so much stuff there. I have to be very careful when I back out so that I don't run over some of the junk that he's got there. So honestly, and for him to try to dictate this young couple to build a house, there's a lot that goes into building a house, as you probably all well know. And so I can understand why they would prefer to just move in a nice looking trailer.
She need clarification on the variance.
Go ahead.
Terry Feller, yeah, isn't Ernest's place the one that's built over top that camper, that big box thing?
It is.
That's kind of the pot calling the kettle black there. And furthermore, why is this so important we had to have this meeting today? Don't we have a regular scheduled meeting pretty quick?
Actually, originally scheduled meetings in about 2 or 3 weeks. These people are trying to get it decided so that they can move in.
Which is understandable. My point is, I'm sure you guys aren't working for free today. So I'm just curious why I'm on this special meeting paying for you people. It's like, we could have took care of it earlier this month, later next month. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Thank you.
I would like to say something.
If you would stand and introduce yourself, please.
I think, as has been noted in the other meetings, the first time when this trailer came in, it was a camping trailer. There were illegal meetings. There was illegal procedures. The camper is illegal from many standpoints. It is a camper, but it's also too small. And that one was crammed down our throats illegally. Okay. Why should it surprise us that the same sort of thing is going on now? Now, they question Aaron's credibility. I think that's a foolish thing to do. Especially seeing how this whole scenario happened in the first place. I think it's about time that this kind of bullying activity stops, and that we have some real laws upheld and people are treated fairly. And bringing in a trailer house like that without a permit is definitely in the bullying category. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything like?
I'm Kylie. Some of this I'll try not to repeat from the last meeting. Some of the comments that I'm hearing, I think there is a big difference between the residential and the commercial lots in town. And I know that as people look around town, they might not know what is residential and what is commercial. But what is listed in the city's documents and put under the commercial regulations, they were doing their best to follow it. I understand that there's differences in the residential and commercial versus what you can put on there. Unfortunately, the town doesn't really have a lot of nitpick details on those things. So that would be important to remember, is that this is a commercial lot. There is much different regulations versus a residential lot. As far as support towards them putting that trailer on their commercial lot, I don't know if you all have been able to see the improvements that they have made, but it would be nice to allow a young couple to get settled in a town where we need younger people in this town. And not only do they want to be active in the community, they have a lot of family in the community, and hopefully they can bring more younger people to this town where we really need it. And they're also not afraid to be active in the town, volunteering, getting on committees, that kind of stuff. And I would just, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at it or see the pictures of the work that they have done. It really wasn't in their budget to go and get a stick built on their place. And we'd probably be going through the same thing right now if it was that way. So, thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Okay. Okay. The council will hear all persons presenting recommendations or objections relative to the proposed variance applications for Tanner Summons, 24 Harley Avenue. Vote on variance application for Tanner Summons.
Can I point out something before we vote on this?
Yes.
I was called in February of this year concerning the corner lot down here that has a for sale sign by 2 individuals. This person's going to buy it and they're going to put a trailer house in there. Would you go for it? Here's my point. We have 3 vacant lots on Main Street that don't have buildings on them. Are we willing to do that? I feel once we do it for one, we're roped into doing it for all.
Well, I guess the way I look at it, with the variance, mainly that's what we're dealing with, is because it's commercial. And each spot that is now listed as commercial will have to be individually looked at to see what their plans are, what they're going to do, and how we go forward with that. Commercial out there was, that part of town had businesses on it, 80 years ago, 90 years ago. And I know that ever since I've been here, there's been a rundown trailer house and
I get that, but I'm just saying, once you do it.
But each and every individual lot needs to be looked at individually.
I'm not sure you can do that, because once you open up the doors, you open them up for everybody. Otherwise, you're discriminating against whoever comes behind.
That's like the deal of, I understand it's a nice looking trailer too, but I can't get into that deal. My only deal is looking at age. It's kind of, when you're a governmental entity, we don't have rights that we can do for one, but we can't do for all. It really is scary to me.
Yes.
After the meeting Monday night, I had some questions during the meeting Monday. I didn't feel it was appropriate to bring them up in front of you people, in front of the attorney, so I talked with the attorney at length the next day. I asked point blank the opinion of the attorney of what things. Black and white? No. Our ordinances simply state the trailer is 10 years or newer. I'm not questioning anything about the trailer. The question I have is if we grant it 6 months down the road, 2 years down the road, Jim Bob comes in, he's going to put a trailer house in wherever, and it's only 20 years old, and it looks like crap. We've already opened up that box because we allowed a 25-year-old trailer in here. Our ordinances are put into place for a reason. Things that were done in the past, I can't do nothing about that. I'm looking at what our laws state now. After talking with the attorney, because our law simply states no trailer holder, it also simply states that a trailer house must be put on a permanent foundation. and there lists types of foundations that it can be put on. It also states on there that the trailer house must be at least 1,000 square feet or larger. Measures 924. I understand 76 feet is only 76 feet, but we have the laws, the ordinances in there. They were put into place for a reason. With all that being said, I asked about the variance. The attorney told me that a variance should be used very, very sparingly. Because in essence, what a variance says is that you do not have to follow the rules. And that's what the variance means. So that's what I was that's what I wanted to clarify with the attorney on that application.
Do we have any other comments? Yes, Elsa?
What did you say, state law is?
Ilsa, you know, they have that old trailer, I remember they've been living in for a number of years. I was at the meeting when that was approved, many years ago. So if in fact you say he can't have, or this couple can't have that trailer, they move the newer one out, do they have to take out that old one then too, or can they continue to live there? And believe me, that's not really an improvement as far as I'm concerned. But would they have to, could they continue to live there? Because they were given approval way back when they first put that in.
If I can speak, I guess this is where I fall into it. I was on the council when that was approved, and the way I look at it is we have, on a case-by-case scenario, we have already set a precedent. It's the same couple, the same people. We approved that. The board, not as what Mike was saying, he can't change what was done before. It just as now, if we say no to this, I mean, it's the same people moving it in, and I mean, we can document the minutes saying going forward, yeah, we're not going to make this mistake anymore. This mistake was done already, but it's an upgrade to the mistake, and I feel that we're making the right decision if we allow it, is my opinion. Just because the simple fact it's already been done, and prior to these two, I mean, prior before me on the council, and before I even vote, there's been somebody in a trailer on that place that dilapidated and run down, and I get exactly what Tammy's saying. Going down the road, the main street is dead. There's nothing left. There's no business. I mean, it's residential across it. And at this point, the only thing we can pray is that maybe some of the farmland becomes available and we can start a true commercial district. But until then, I mean, at this point, numbers in the town is all I'm looking at. And I know that's a very biased opinion.
Folks are gonna run a business out of there, right?
We're hoping. They haven't started it yet. I cook for them. I do meal prepping. And so I'm hoping to turn it into a business and be able to do it for more people, but I haven't gone that far yet to do it.
Okay. Yes.
On the business you were talking about, they were going to rebuild the Legion and feed people in there. And they said it cost them a ton of money because they had to have a special stove and everything. And it's not cheap.
Yeah, I haven't looked that far.
Yeah,
into it yet.
it's really high.
So,
That's your concern.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when let's get to the present here. So do we have any more questions? Okay. Let's go ahead and vote for the variance application for Tanner Simas on 24 Hollery Avenue. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
We have 2 for and 2 against. There's a tie. I will break the tie and vote in favor.
Just like I told you.
Thank you for